In the latest incident in the ongoing feud between quote unquote old media and quote unquote new media, Skip Bayless and Draymond Green are into it now. I think, excuse me, Skip Bayless had offered a critique of something that Draymond said about, comparing I guess, the basketball IQ of the Boston Celtics to that of LeBron, and Draymond felt some type of way about Skip, offering that critique, to Matt. Uh, and then Skip Bayless felt some type of way about Draymond saying something, so he went to his new podcast, the Skip Bayless Show, and called himself, I guess, airing out Draymond, to Matt. So you got this back and forth. All right, y'all go check that out. But we see this. We see these journalists. That's what Skip Bayless used to be before he became a commentator. That's what an opinionist. That's what he is now. He used to be a journalist. You know what I'm saying? His job was to really go and follow these teams. He had to travel. You know what I'm saying? He had to write about them, get that article out in the paper. You know what I'm saying? So I think really he kind of like the face of the old media right now. You know what I'm saying? Because the old media, he's getting on up there. Skip Bayless getting on up there. So he's an old white guy. Old media used to be just white guys working for these newspapers, covering sports. But again, he transitioned from that into who he is now. Draymond Green is calling himself new media, where the players have a bigger voice. The players do not have to go through the likes of a Skip Bayless to get a chance to say what they got to say, that they can just do it on their own. Players and former players acting as analysts and all that kind of stuff, that ain't nothing new. And going back and watching, saying some old school basketball, I heard Bill Russell was calling the game one time. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, we've seen examples of players leave the league and go, like Magic Johnson. As soon as he got out of the league, he was calling games. Charles Barkley had a job on TNT, excuse me, for the longest. So that ain't nothing new. But it used to be when there was a Magic Johnson, there was Marv Albert right there with him. When you got Mark Jackson, you got Mike Breen right there. When you got Charles Barkley, you got Ernie Johnson right there. So you got somebody from old media, kind of like a safeguard and kind of coaching and moving this thing. And so it's like Draymond Green with his podcast and using social media is trying to say, no, we don't need y'all. We don't need y'all gatekeepers. We the new. Now, here's the tricky thing about all this. Draymond is trying to get into the old model as well. It's like he's trying to double dip. A lot of these guys are double dipping. You know what I'm saying? Draymond, y'all seen him over there on TNT. He trying to get down with that. He wants a piece of that. To go along with what he's doing with the podcast. JJ Redick does the same thing. Y'all see him on there with Stephen A. Stephen A. He's part of old media, he's a journalist. So JJ does that, but he has his own, podcast as well. So it's like, this is what I see coming. The same way Draymond and KD and all these guys be getting pissed off with like Charles Barkley and Shaq, all these former players that got these big shows who be critiquing them, they finna be like that. One day Draymond gonna be retired and he gonna be calling somebody trash. And those players gonna go back to their stat sheet, say, man, motherfucker, you were averaging 8 points and 7 assists. Motherfucker, you trying to talk to me? It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And it's gonna be fun as a motherfucker, boy. But this is what I want to ask y'all. Which one do you enjoy more? Do you enjoy the old format? In the old media, where you have your journalists leading things, like a Skip Bayless, like a Stephen A. Smith. Go back further. You know, you got all these guys. Mike Lupica comes to mind. Brian Gumbel. What was he on? Real Sports, something like that. All these guys, journalist led. Or do you like to hear the players, not only hear them, but let them lead? Let them be the ones running the show as well. And I offer my answer on this one too. And it really depends on what I'm looking for. If I want an unbiased account, I want a straight facts. I'm gonna roll with old media. But what I'm looking for, what I'm talking about, is not what you see from Skip Bayless right now. It's not what you see from Stephen A. Smith right now. What I'm talking about is what they used to do when they were really journalists. What I'm talking about is what you saw Mike Wilbon used to do, what Tony Kornheiser used to do when they were writers for real. So I fuck with beat writers more, y'all. I fuck with beat writers, you know, on stories. Y'all know, if you fuck with me for real, and if you watch any of my Jackson State coverage, we had Rashad Milligan on the show, formerly of the Clarion Ledger, which is the biggest paper in the state of Mississippi. You know, he was on the Jackson State beat. Fucked with him. I could go to him for facts. I don't know what his opinion was, but he was going to give me what the fuck was going on. You know, tonight they got a brother now named Kerry Thompson right now doing that. I hope I'm pronouncing his first name right. But I like beat writers. Those motherfuckers on the ground, they grinding, they keeping up with what the hell is going on. They going to give me facts. I like that. But if we're going to go for opinions, just motherfuckers giving their opinions on some, I'd rather have the new media. Especially if it's in interview format. Especially if it's in interview format. And this is why. When you bring in these players on these podcasts, especially, and they're with fellow players, they're more relaxed. Shit, they had them a little drink. On some of these shows, they had them a smoke. And since they're talking to another jock, it's like they're more relaxed and they give you more. You know what I'm saying? You get more out of that. The other jocks that are running the show, is like they're more comfortable. They push back. If you watch The Pivot, you see Channing Crowder. But Channing Crowder used to be on I Am Athlete, as I talked about on a previous segment. And I remember when Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, went over there to I Am Athlete, and Channing Crowder very, very famously pushed back on what Prime was saying about top guys coming to HBCUs now. Travis Hunter proved him wrong. But I don't know if a journalist would have as forcefully pushed back on Coach Prime in that moment. And then you don't even have that moment because the journalist feel as confident to be able to push back as forcefully. You know what I'm saying? But when you're another jock, you in shit. You played, I played. Fuck you, shit. I ain't trying to. I hear what you're saying, but whoa. So we saw that moment. I don't know if you get that anywhere else but we're talking to another jock. The Michael Beasley segment that they had on the pivot. Does he feel comfortable enough to let those emotions out with a traditional journalist? I don't know. Some of the on the Knuckleheads, my favorite basketball podcast. I love it. You get some great stories out of those guys because it feels like it's just D Miles and Q Rich and whoever the guest is talking ball. They just talking hoop, and hoopers like to talk to other hoopers. You know what I'm saying? So, especially from the interview standpoint, I'm loving what I'm getting from particular shows right now with the ballers running the shit. But when it comes to the facts, when it comes to what I need to know what the hell going on. You know what I'm saying? I want to go to the beat writers. And I think was pissing off Stephen A. Smith, Skip Bayless, and all these kind of guys. They wonder, oh shit, where do we fit in? Where are we in this? Because we didn't play. And now we're not even out there on the road anymore. And if you listen to some of them, it seems like they're not even watching the fucking games. Now, I got to give it to Skip Bayless. That motherfucker's whole life is watching sports. Motherfucker chose not to have children because of it. He's let his wife, Ernestine, know, goddamn it, this job come first. Or at best, you are tied with my job, which is crazy. Shit, with LeBron James playing, she ain't a tie. He gonna watch LeBron play. That motherfucker gonna watch them games. When it comes to Stephen A, you can say that motherfucker don't be knowing what the fuck he talking about. He ain't even watch. They have him on TV all goddamn day. So it's like, damn, bro. So you didn't play. You ain't out there on the road. And shit, are you even watching? Like, can you get away with the same shit? Shaq don't be watching the game. Charles Barkley don't be watching the game. But they played at such a high level that they feel like, and you feel like as the watcher, hey, they at least they know the game enough to say what they're saying. And they can look at a stat sheet and say, oh, this guy, 16 to 6'11", he played this many minutes. He got 5 rebounds. In the same league I played in, what the fuck? You know, they're going to feel some type of way because they know what it takes to go get those numbers. And they're wildly fucking entertaining, too. So it's like, the old media cats scared of that shit. They scared of the Draymonds and these other cats. They might come through with some charisma and not giving a fuck. Pat Bev showed, yeah, he don't give a fuck. He gonna air shit out. And that Pat Bev kind of shows too. One thing that old media might talk about is he's not unbiased. Pat Bev is clearly not unbiased. But new media will argue that old media ain't unbiased either. I remember KD was talking about LeBron having his fanboys in the media. Nick Wright, anybody? Okay. I don't know. It's interesting. But tell me which one y'all fuck with more. You know, to my old media led by the Skip Baylesses of the world, or the new media led by the Draymond Greens of the world. Let me know what y'all think. Put it on something. My kids wanted me to tell y'all to make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me across all social media platforms, like the videos, and share them. Did I forget anything?
And turn on the post notifications.
Y'all heard them. And also, visit StatementTees.LLC.com and shop with us. That's Statement Tees. Every t-shirt you wear
makes a statement.